Today, more information has come to the surface in regards to Hi-Fi Rush and where the future of this franchise might lie under this new leadership. So, let's break that all down, up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. Alright, so let's kick things off today in rather quick fashion. Mainly because we got some new news surrounding the story that just keeps on giving, which is the closure of Tango Gameworks and the future of Hi-Fi Rush. Now, for those of you out of the loop for context, last year Xbox shut down this studio, which again is a head-scratcher move. But things looked grim for Tango Gameworks until the makers of PUBG, aka Krafton, swooped in and saved the studio from complete closure. And this is the exact moment when reports came out that Hi-Fi Rush 2 was in active development over at Xbox, which again was another gut punch to fans around the world because Hi-Fi Rush 2 was a surprise not only to fans, but the studio itself. But fear not, because it looks like today we got some new details about how this game is faring under new leadership, and that the game might look to evolve once more. And this is all coming from a GameIndustry.biz interview with Krafton's head of corporate development, Maria Park. Quote, they want to make sure it surpasses the expectations of existing fans. For instance, some of the feedback about Hi-Fi Rush was that some people felt it was just going through factories. So now they want to give it a more open world type of experience. I don't think it's going to be completely open world, but a more dynamic environment that you play in. Also, having more advanced technology applied to the rhythm action so that it feels more synchronized. Now, upon just hearing that is pretty great news, mainly because when I first played Hi-Fi Rush, I really wasn't expecting too much out of it, but it turned out to be one of my most favorite games from last year. And to this day, I still think that Xbox made one big mistake when closing down this studio, mainly because of the franchises that do exist under the Tango Gameworks banner. I mean, we're looking at games like Hi-Fi Rush, Ghostwire Tokyo, and The Evil Within. At the same time, looking at this move through more of a corporate lens, and especially on the business side of things, I can understand this company might not move that needle, so to speak, money-wise. But again, when talking about Tango Gameworks and the quality they put out in their games, that should have been omitted. I think it's no secret that for Xbox in the long run, it needs more IPs and franchises to rally behind. And a studio like Tango Gameworks, at the very least, had all the foundational pieces there for various franchises. Speaking of that IP, Maria Park expanded on that point even more in this interview and why they seen Tango Gameworks as such a valuable asset. Quote, when we look at Tango, all the games they released were unique in their own way. Their philosophy and craftsmanship have aligned with what we pursue. We had big fans of Hi-Fi Rush and other titles, and I knew they were working on Hi-Fi Rush 2 when we started talking. We thought we could carry on that legacy and offer up more creative ways to keep the game updated. Also, the opportunity to take over the IP from Microsoft. It's very unusual for them to sell the IP, even in the case of a studio shutdown. We spoke with Phil Spencer directly, and we have their direct support. He has been incredibly accommodating to the needs of the Tango team. So, securing the rights to this IP, we should be able to continue the success of the series, but also expand on potential expansions and new creative directions. Again, I think IP is a huge factor for most companies nowadays, because when people look at a brand or a company logo, more specifically in this entertainment field, a mascot quickly comes to mind. When I look at Disney, boom, I'm thinking about Mickey Mouse. When I think of Nintendo, I'm thinking about Mario. When I look at PlayStation, Kratos, and you get the point. So I just think at the end of the day, having that IP under your belt could really help your chances to reel in more people. And that's all with a more diverse cast of games and characters under your belt. But again, what do I know? But with all that being said, I'm going to pass this off to you guys. What do you think about Hi-Fi Rush 2 being more of a semi-open world game? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.